Volvo has been building the cross country for several decades now, and in this video we're going to test the all-wheel drive capability of the V90 cross country. We're going to get it stuck on purpose in some rollers in the TFL slip test to see how the all-wheel drive system works in a controlled environment, and then we're going to take this all-wheel drive lifted wagon out into some dirt to see how it performs in the real world. This is going to be one you're going to want to pay attention to. All right, first up is the front wheel slip test. So both front wheels are going to be stuck in the rollers. The rear wheels are going to have to start spinning if we're going to get unstuck. Now the testing procedure is the same for every vehicle. We back out of the rollers gently, put the vehicle into neutral, then we let off the brakes, let the vehicle settle into the rollers, then going into drive, and then we gently apply some accelerator to see if we can get unstuck. And just like that, the Volvo pulled us down. So clearly the rear wheels were engaged, ready to go, no slipping needed. This big wagon is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged and E-charged 4-cylinder engine mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission and a mild hybrid system with an 11 horsepower electric motor. It's a lot of stuff going on, but total system output 295 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. And look how high this hood opens. Pretty good. Now the whole purpose of the slip test is to simulate really tough conditions where various wheels might be stuck in snow or ice or mud or really loose gravel, that kind of thing. And next up is a rear wheel slip test. Both rear wheels are stuck into neutral, nice and settled, into drive. Let's see if the front wheels are engaged and ready to pull us off. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely no slipping. So clearly with the 2-wheel slip tests, no problems, but now we're gonna go to the diagonal slip test and get things a little bit more tricky. Now, it's hard to ignore the fact that the cross country has gotten expensive. This V90 version, which granted is a large one, comes in at nearly $74,000 as equipped, and this thing is quite loaded. Between these beautiful perforated leather seats, this open pore wood across the dash, and the stitching throughout, this interior is very luxurious. It doesn't feel very cross-country. I'd be worried about putting some dogs and some dirty boots in the back, but it certainly is premium. We've got a 12.3-inch vertically mounted screen here with, of course, stuff like wireless Apple CarPlay. We've got lots of wood, lots of stitching, and of course, the crystal shifter on the inside. But this interior is beautiful. It's got that great sunroof as well that extends all the way back. I'd just be worried about getting it dirty. All right, things are about to get interesting because we're going on to the diagonal slip test. So the left front and the right rear are stuck in the rollers, opposite ends of the car. Very common. Imagine if you're driving up a snowy, icy curb, right? And you get various wheels loaded and unloaded. Very common off-road, extremely common off-road. And we're going to see how the traction control performs, because what's going to happen is with open diffs, the front axle and the rear axle are going to send all their wheel speed to the wheels that are spinning, and then the wheel on the ground is going to get stuck until the brake can slow down that wheel that's spinning and then force torque to the wheel on the ground. All right, into drive, we're settled, onto the accelerator. Okay, so a little bit of spinning, not too much. You could hear the brakes intervene and pulled us down. Good result so far, but it's going to get a lot harder as we step up to the 3-wheel slip test. Backseat room is impressive considering that, you know, it's a sedan in a world of SUVs and crossovers. My driving position, decent legroom, even at 6 feet tall. Good headroom. These headrests do fold up and down for more visibility. My one big issue with the seats, both front and rear in this Volvo, is they're just too firm. I grew up in Volvo cross countries as a kid. My family had tons of them, and they all had these beautiful squishy seats, especially the headrest. But this new Volvo, it's gotten a lot more German, a lot more firm, a lot more bolstered, but not nearly as comfortable. Bringing things up a few notches, the 3-wheel slip test. Both right wheels completely stuck, the left front completely stuck. Only the left rear is on the ground. Now this is probably more difficult than you'd ever see out in the real world, but this is an extreme test. We want to push the all-wheel drive system to its capacity, which is why we do these. So we're settled into drive, foot off the brake, applying some throttle. Lots of throttle now, that's full throttle. Okay, the car is stuck, but I do have a secret weapon. There is an off-road mode in this Volvo. Let's go ahead and try engaging that, and let's see if that changes the all-wheel drive performance. So, same test. So you could see it allowed a lot more slipping, but we were able to get that wheel speed going. We were able to clamp down on that right rear and drive down. So that was a good result out of the Volvo. I understand that wagons aren't the hot thing right now. This vehicle should have the kick gate. And will it open? It beeps, but it doesn't open that time. Anyways, station wagons are awesome. This vehicle competes with vehicles like the Audi A6 Allroad and of course the Mercedes E-Class wagon, off-roady competitor, tons of space. Granted, you don't have that same riding position like you would in an XC60 or an XC90, but you do have a lot of space for furry friends and luggage and all the stuff you may need back here. All right, for the final test, only the left front is on the ground. All other three are stuck. Let's see if that left front can kind of pull us off with the front wheel. So into drive, we're gonna go into standard mode and then we'll put it in off-road mode if we get stuck. So standard mode. Oh, nice. Okay, so it took some work, but we were able to get off even in standard mode with the front wheel on the ground. Pretty cool difference, and overall, I say I'm pretty impressed with the all-wheel drive system, specifically with the smoothness. At no point is there a jerk in any part of this vehicle as it transfers wheel speed or torque. It's very smooth, very deliberate, and very consistent. So it's a very, very refined all-wheel drive system. It could be a little bit more aggressive, especially in off-road, with clamping down on the brakes, but it's pretty good. All right, we have made it to the Onyx Off-Road On-Race Pit Course. Onyx Off-Road is our official TFL trail navigation sponsor, and they do great work. They allow you to find the best trails in your area. You can navigate using offline maps and integrates into CarPlay. It's really good stuff. Now, let's talk about this cross-country. I appreciate the want of Americans to have a crossover in an SUV and a higher ride height and that kind of thing. And I definitely appreciate going off-road and going cross-country off-road. I'm just not sure that Volvo has made this car rugged enough for the name. I mean, we're rolling on 20-inch wheels with Pirelli performance tires. Save that for, you know, what they used to have, which was the low V90. For the cross-country, this thing should be on 18s and some knobbly tires. But, you know, Volvo has decided to go in a different direction. You know who nailed the balance of kind of a prestigious premium experience and an off-road vibe is Land Rover with the Defender. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the new Defender, as I'm sure a lot of you out there know, but they did do a great job, I think, for most people, balancing ruggedness and luxury. This car skews a little bit too much toward luxury. I know this is the fully loaded one, but it would be cool if even if this one you could get like vinyl floors and off-road tires and that kind of thing. All right, so we are in the off-road mode going up our trenches course, and in trenches we actually lift up tires and we basically test what we checked out in the slip test, which is how does the vehicle perform on two wheels. And we take it slow on purpose to get the vehicle unsettled. Actually, an excellent all-wheel drive programming. Look at that. Even on these Pirelli tires, almost no grip. You know, if I just give it a little bit more throttle, I'm losing momentum on purpose to make it hard on the vehicle. But even still, good low-speed power delivery out of this 2-liter forced inducted 4-cylinder, and it pulled us right out. So in the real world, very impressive. Get some better tires on it. Ground clearance is a little minimal. Find a way to lift the air suspension a little bit more, and you'd have yourself a pretty cool little rough roader here. Good job, Volvo. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. This has been Tommy behind the camera, Brendan. We'll see you in the next video.